Hi, this is Paula J from CQURE and welcome to another CQURE Hacks episode. This time we're going to be talking about Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. Well, we all know that privileged accounts are at risk within the companies. That's why it's important to learn how we are able to secure them. Not only we are able to implement just-in-time access, but also we are able to implement just enough access. And that means that we can configure, for example, that certain privileged accounts are able to access resources only in a certain time in a certain way. And on the top of that, we are able to implement good auditing. So let's learn how we are able to configure these things in Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. Let's begin.
Okay guys, so let's see what we got in here. First of all, we're gonna get into the Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. You've got here my roles, my requests. We're gonna go to the Azure AD roles and assign eligibility. So here we're gonna specify the roles, and let's get into the global administrator. And we have got over here the eligible role assignments. We're gonna add assignments, and over here we're gonna choose someone that's supposed to be a global administrator. So let's say it's gonna be our ABI user. And then next here we've got the eligible, and here we've got also the possibility to configure that this person is supposed to be only eligible for the certain time, and that is pretty good because it is an access that is only assigned not only of course for the certain time, but after time it expires, so you don't need to worry about that role being persistent. And one of the things that we're gonna do over here is to go to portalazure.com, and then we're going to simply verify it. So it's a very easy setup, but also good from the security perspective. So we're going to enter password. Let's do that, sign in, and then stay signed in, no. And at that point, we are logged in as ABI, that's supposed to be global administrator. So let's go to the privileged identity management, and then here we've got my roles. And we are able to see that we've got global administrator, eligible assignments, and now we are able to activate it. So we can specify for how many hours that should be. And then you can see that there is an additional verification needed. So we have to confirm that request by using the Microsoft Authenticator app. So we are doing that right now. And then eventually say sign in, yes. And the next part, of course, we've got is that the role is at that moment confirmed. We can specify the custom activation start time, and again how many hours we should have this role, and we can specify some comment. Yes, so I want power for 4 hours, for example, activate, and we've got a possibility to have that role for that certain time. So right now we are activating the role. So that's this stage 1, as you see. And once the role is activated, then basically we are getting to stage 3, activation completed successfully. So this is the moment where user it's having a role of a global admin. So as you can see over here, and that particular global admin is going to be for the certain time. So now we've got a possibility to test it. So portal office.com, and then here we've got this admin button that confirms that eventually we're going to have access to a little bit more settings than if we obviously would not have this role. And then we've got here roles, global administrator, and then over here if we go to the assigned admins, we are able to specify that there is actually this ABI user assigned that particular role. So this is a pretty easy setup that allows us to make privileged access only for the certain time for dedicated users. So pretty cool setting, also allowing us to avoid permanent assignment of the privileges that are really high in the organization.
So this is it. Hope you found it useful. We have more cybersecurity tips. Visit our blog on secureacademy.com/blog and dig into CQ Hacks, where you'll find tons of tools and tips.